Kendall. I'm here without Katie because we recorded a version of this together earlier and the sound didn't record. Gesundheit to me. Let's get into this. Thank you all so much for being here. We're talking about divestment canvassing preparations and strategies. Thank you all in advance for showing up, showing out, and helping us with this. So let's start with these demands, because as a canvasser, you are the vessel for these demands. And I think it's really important to note that as alumni, we face the least amount of consequences when standing up for this. We are not at the whim of the school like staff, faculty, and students are. So anything we say really does have a lot of weight, also because, the school cares about their bottom line. It's a business at the end of the day. So faculty, students, and alumni are calling for complete divestment from all weapons manufacturers and all institutions that aid the ongoing occupation of Palestine. They are demanding adherence to the USACBI academic boycott. They're demanding Pomona administration publicly call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza. Are publicly condemning Israel's apartheid, occupation, ethnic cleansing, genocide, and dehumanization of Palestinians. And finally, the institution of anti-discrimination policies explicitly for Palestinian, Muslim, Arab, Botswana, Black, Brown, and Indigenous students. So, with that, we think it's so important that you keep why you're fighting for divestment in mind, because when you're working one-on-one, especially with people who are from a wide range of ages and only know TikTok is the sound that a clock makes, you have to ask yourself, what can you connect over? And why you're fighting for divestment is a really important part of that, and is something that they can also connect to as human beings, hopefully. But before we get any further in, I just want to emphasize that the goal is to get context, not change hearts and minds. The changing of the hearts and minds happens after this. Right now, Alumni Weekend is this microcosm of people that are much harder to get a hold of, essentially. And so our goal is to grow our numbers so that then after Alumni Weekend, we can follow up with these people. So specifically, you're looking for alumni who will sign the pledge, wear a button, send an email, and tell their friends. Another important thing to think about is, why might people come to Alumni Weekend? There's the nostalgia of it. There's wanting to see what the kids these days are up to. There's wanting to relive parts of their youth. There's so many reasons to come to Alumni Weekend, and digging into those is really helpful for coming up with counterpoints. So, if someone is oh, sucks that you have to drag politics into Alumni Weekend. Well, I'm sure there are some students and professors in Philistine who would love to go back to their universities, but all of them have been bombed by Israel. Just making those connections on a human level, and not necessarily coming at it from a place of criticism of why aren't you immediately with me, but at a place of here's the basic bare bones humanity of all of this. All right, let's go over some logisticking. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. So everybody is gonna be in the buddy system, and keep in mind we are improving our way through this weekend. This is our first time doing this in this context, and so we don't want to create this very intricate, detailed game plan and have nothing come out of it. And so, you just kind of need to be on call. We will message you, and we want to strategize together. If you have a conversation that you're oh, I never expected this to happen, or oh, that phrase really worked well, pop it into the chat. We're all gonna get better at this as we go, and notably, we've got a little script that we highly recommend you look over, as well as the faculty document about the counter narratives to what administration has published. Those are really important resources to familiarize yourself with, and even read aloud. It's going to help it stick in your brain better, and it means that you won't be as nervous when you go up to Canvas for real. If you've like if you're taking a long car ride with people, practice in the car ride, and just like think together of how you might approach these situations. So in these teams of 2, we've got a clipboarder. We're giving you a clipboard that's going to have the QR code to the pledge and also the toolkit. And then on that clipboard attached to it will be a full copy of the pledge and then places for people to physically sign the pledge. And together in this team of 2, you're going to approach and talk to people, back each other up, and know when to quit. And then, of course, every team will ideally have another team nearby that they'll liaise with. I'm calling them cohorts. So, like, if somebody needs to take a bathroom break, you know, one of you falls off to go to the bathroom, and the 3 of you hang out together remaining, and then split back up. And then check in every hour with your cohort, you know. You are going to need bathroom breaks, water, food, emotional rest. We do have some people in the chat on standby. If you need to talk, if you need to vent, Katie and I will also be there for you. And we're going to check in with y'all every 2 hours, either over the phone or in person. Again, it's just that, like, letting us know where you are when, what's working, what's not, so we can constantly be adapting to get the best out of the situation. And of course, when it comes to what to wear and bring, please, for your personal safety or security, feel free to wear a mask, but please, unfortunately, because of the connections of concealment of identity with the arrests on April 5th, we really want to make sure that we are there to canvass on campus. Now, granted, we do have some contingency plans. You'll see those in the Signal chat, but, like, we want to make sure we can do this job on campus, so please comply. As shitty as the pigs are, you know, here we are. Definitely wear a pin. And then, of course, when it comes to clothing in general, you've got 2 options, and it's all about your personal comfort. Definitely dress for the weather. You can go subtle, wearing pomona colors, or not so subtle, with a keffiyeh and your watermelon and all that jazz. Definitely please make sure to bring a water bottle, a snack, cash, and your ID. And hell, if you still have your student ID, might as well. And then sunglasses and sunscreen are going to be very important, and more than essential is an extra phone battery, because like I said, we are going to be on our phones constantly. We need to make sure that we can reach you. Then when you're done with canvassing, we'll either ask you to hand off your clipboards and stuff to the next meeting spot, or just like bring your pledges and clipboards back to us. The pledges that are going to be physical are like rather integral to everything we do moving forward, and so like they're going to have to be entered by hand, and we can't do that if they're blowing off in the wind. And yeah, I can't think of anything else to add, but I guarantee you I've forgotten something. It's too bad that the recording Katie and I did was so good, because it's so gone. You know, I know what the slides look like, I just don't know what we said. So, as always, please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you again for your time, energy, any resources you've provided. We're so excited to work with you, so excited to see you, and go team!